The road to the RLCS is a long one, Turtle, and we have finally come to the moment for these two teams where one will be making it in.
Yeah, I mean, this is the matchup of what even RLCS and Rival Series combined. This is such a huge series, and I'm excited because it's a fight back into the RLCS. It's redemption for both of these teams and these players on them. They fought so long, so hard, and they want to make it back onto the catapult and get
we are
themselves
guaranteed
RLCS.
that one of these RLCS veterans will make it back. Karma, she made waves in the scene when she, as the captain of Splyce, was able to get in with Jay Wismont and Nose Dude. Splyce had a tough season. They got relegated, but now Karma, they picked up Shadow, and they're coming back. And Afterthought, a little bit of NA leftovers is at least what they feel like. They had a stellar season, and now they are also on the precipice.
And the desk, I mean, everybody has sided with Charlotte. And this is also revenge for Afterthought. Earlier in the season, they got swept by Charlotte. I mean, this is such a pivotal game for both teams.
As Subi said, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Karma with a bump. Another bump by Shadow. Dapper getting it by J-Wiz. Shock with some time. Right to J-Wiz, who gets a long clear. Sathu, a miss off the backboard. And Sathu is a player that helped Bread back in the day get to the RLCS through the Rival Series. The desk touched on it, but after that DreamHack Dallas, that was disappointing for his team. He was let go and now has had to watch from the sidelines as he again tries to battle back to the RLCS from the Rival Series.
And even on the other side, we've got Karma, somebody who has Rival Series experience as well. She's made it. She's been through the promotion tournament. She knows what it's like. And now she's here to fight for another spot.
Dapper with a flick, blocked by Shock. Karma to the side. Sathu bouncing it towards net. Shadow, high hit. Dapper first to it. Off the arc, down to Shock, and Shock strikes first for Afterthought.
And what better way to do it than to have the league-leading assister Dapper set up Shock, the shooter of this team. And this is a play we've seen time and time again. Afterthought, they do it again here, and they come out strong with the first goal.
Fantastic speed from Dapper. Karma trying to go for the physical play on Shock, and it pays off as J-Wiz immediately off kickoff will get the goal.
Yeah, and Shock, he had no choice but to try and dodge that demo. Couldn't get a challenge, and the easy pass assist from Shadow to J-Wiz.
You don't even have to hit the demos a lot of times for that to make an impact. We saw it there. Shock avoided the demo, but couldn't avoid getting scored on.
Just force a mistake.
Dapper with that challenge. Sathu with the 50-50, bouncing up. Dapper on the goal line. Oh, what a read from Dapper.
And he had to come from the opposite side. Dapper, this is such an incredibly hard shot to hit in general. To put it on net, though, is another thing.
It's that angle doesn't even do it justice. When you're sitting stationary in net, the ball's hit, you have that angle. That is one of the hardest reads that you have to make.
And that is completely just predicting the bounce and having that practice and knowing where it's going to go.
Dapper. Now over to Shock. Karma. Deep. Sathu will get a clear down the sideline. Dapper got the demo as well. Karma over to J-Wiz. Sent all the way to the backboard. Sathu will control it. Try slowing it down. Shot towards net. Shock. Back in time. Karma again. Making people jump. Getting demos. Bruising people in the net. Ball all the way back. Shadow took his time. Now air dribbling. Shadow Off the backboard, Sathu with a huge touch there to break up the play.
And we already see how deadly Shadow is. You saw him make a play out of almost nothing. He had to air dribble it all the way across, get a read.
And immediately jump.
Yeah. You have to deny him. He is a scary player and a great pickup for Charlotte.
Still Charlotte trailing. Shadow with time. Blocked out by Sathu. Sathu being bumped by Jaywiz. Dapper immediately helping. He'll stay with the ball.
Got space in the air.
Air dribble. Did he get the flip reset? No. His Shadow will slow it down. Sathu by Karma. Challenge, kicks it out to the middle. Shadow takes possession. Dapper going for the pinch. Goes out to Karma. Karma, the 1-2 play. And just like that, Charlotte Phoenix tie it up.
And Shadow, I mean, first of all, Karma had to hit it to Shadow to find that pass, but what a read from Shadow, setting it up beautifully, just teeing Karma up.
Karma didn't miss a beat.
Full confidence in him.
And Shadow did not let her down. Shadow. Again, he was the new player coming in replacing Nose Dude at the beginning of the season. And he has had just a great season all around. And that big play, that was enough to tie it back up. But who will take the lead? Sathu to the corner. A demo from Dapper. Dapper still staying in the offensive end. Lobbed toward net. And Shadow gets that save. Dapper with the challenge. Trying to bump Karma out of the play. Sathu slowed down by Jaywiz. Shock was trying to pass it back to Sathu.
So far, I mean, you can see Afterthought a little bit more. Ooh, the bump? No, it just wasn't enough. A little bit of a stutter, but like I said, I mean, you're just seeing the methodical play. Slower paced from Afterthought. And right now, final 5, they got a chance. Karma gets set up for the
Double
shot.
Commit. Shock can keep this up. It's 2v1.
No way.
Shock.
No way.
The bump attempt off the crossbar. Shock couldn't keep it low. That was a chance that Afterthought just could not make the most of.
But right away, we see them. They got possession off a kickoff. The pressure is still on. Early shot. But no, it's denied by Charlotte.
Afterthought has been on point most of this game. Can Charlotte steal it? Shock. Out to Sathu. Sathu 0 boost, still goes for it. Dapper slowing the play down. He'll abandon it. Go for the bump on the goal line. Karma with a big block. Sathu and Dapper racing back. Sathu down to Shadow. Shadow off the ceiling.
Oh, double commit.
A bump. Net vulnerable, and Dapper did make it back in time.
And what a recovery as well from the double commit. Dapper had to rush back to the net. He barely gets a touch on it. And they walk away still in this overtime, tied up.
Sathu. Can't flick it past Jaywiz.
Oh,
Misread
big miss
from Dapper. Shot towards net. Sathu with the backflip. Again, Afterthought, a few misses on defense, opening up the door for Charlotte, but still they get back just in time to deny the goals. Shadow gets the corner boost, challenged by Dapper. Karma upfield, Shock around Shadow. He'll stay with it.
Does he have another one?
Centers it. Slowed down by Jaywiz, now kicked off to the corner. Dapper up, a miss from Karma. Center ball, Shadow with a long shot all the way to the backboard.
Oh, the demo from Dapper as well. There's space. It's opened up.
Shock goes for the arc. It's bouncing down. Karma led it to the side. Now Jaywiz across the field. Shadow can't get to it. He leaves it for Karma. Now last back. Shadow on the goal line. Now coming to help after the challenge. The chip shot. Sathu couldn't read it, and it hits the crossbar and goes out. Another close call. Afterthought is getting away with murder at this point.
And that was so close for Sathu. I mean, he probably thought it was in. We saw him already go for the jump, trying to get a touch. Just off the crossbar. Charlotte, they're looking deadly. What a shot from Shadow as well. They're just putting so many hammers onto the net.
And after Afterthought had a good start, and controlled most of the game. Charlotte Phoenix has had a majority, if not all, of the chances, and now another one. Shadow with the dunk. Misread from Karma.
Good touch.
Ball downfield. Shock racing to it. Shadow last one back. Shadow dodges the demo and gets the stop. That was a big moment. Now the flick. Centers to Karma.
She's got to get a double.
Double tap chance, and Dapper will hit this off to the side.
Both defenses, it is coming down so close to that final touch. They need to find it. Otherwise, they're going to get scored on this overtime. Goal line saves coming out.
Over 3 minutes in. This one will go off the ceiling. Karma there, just missing the shot. It's rolling out. Shadow trying to self-pass. He gets demoed. And Dapper just enough boost to get there, and Shock will hit it down. A block as well. J-Wiz pops it up to the middle. Shadow off the ceiling, gives up possession. Pass to Shock. Shock will leave it. Karma, double tap chance. Ball out to the middle. Shadow the shot.
Shock's got to get a read.
Shock. Big read from Shock. And now a flick from Sathu downfield. We've hit the 4-minute mark in overtime. J-Wiz. He misses. Sathu has had a few misses. And still it hasn't come back to haunt them. Sathu, the second touch. Shock in the corner.
All good wins.
J-Wiz. Long clear. Can Afterthought start some offense? It has been all Charlotte Phoenix who have just missed some opportunities. Afterthought still just trying to get one.
And it has been so close every time. But Karma, she's up now. She's got space to fake in the air. A good dunk, and now,
the team bump.
What?
Karma and J-Wiz running into each other. Is that the break that Afterthought need? Something down, good speed from Shock. Shadow will clear it. Dapper, poor hit. It's right down to Shadow. As we are over a full game of Rocket League just in overtime. Sathu.
Oh, good hit.
Shock had a chance to pass it back to Sathu, decided to stay with it. Sathu off the backboard. Shadow clears to the corner. Dapper didn't get the boost steal either. J-Wiz will take it. Shock misses his hit. Karma upfield to Dapper. Dapper.
Shock.
Now Shock off the ceiling. Down to Dapper. Karma breaks up the play. Off the arc. Both commit. Dapper will stay with this ball, just trying to interrupt the Charlotte defense. J-Wiz hits it downfield. Dapper will take it up the corner. Shadow going for the boost steal and the bump on Shock. Shock just getting a piece of it.
And still Afterthought, they're not letting up. Like you said, James, it really has been all of Charlotte, but now Dapper's got some space. Still denied. Oh my God, they make plays that come down to the final touch, and it's that last defender that gets the hit, denying it.
J-Wiz, dunked on by Sathu. Sathu leaves it for Dapper. Shock, the last one back. J-Wiz gets the touch. Karma's up in the air, shot. Double tap from Karma to win in overtime. The captain comes up clutch.
And look at that placement right behind Shock. It was so awkward for him to get a touch. Finally, we see the last man back on defense make a mistake, and Karma's there to punish.
And what a finish to that one.
Wow.
It seemed like it was just a matter of time. That game, that has to be a huge amount of momentum in favor of Phoenix. Afterthought, they start out the game. It seems like they're going to maybe run away with it, but Phoenix starts to get back into it. And then in that overtime, they had all the pressure.
Yeah.
As I'm surprised that they did not win sooner, especially after some of those defensive miscues, especially on the part of Sathu. We saw a few miss hits. Afterthought in general gave some chances to Charlotte Phoenix that they did not put away.
I mean, I was also surprised that they didn't get too desperate. There were so many chances for Charlotte compared to Afterthought in the overtime. They could have over-aggressed and have gone to a conclusion of like, maybe I need to push up and try and be aggressive because we're just getting this close. But they didn't let up. They were patient and they stayed calm and collected. And Karma, the captain, like you said, she's the one who comes out clutch.
And that was an incredible shot to end it.
Yeah.
It took a heroic effort from Karma to get that double tap. It's great finesse on that as she chased that down. And that was what, almost 7 minutes? Almost
Crazy.
7 minutes of overtime.
And like you said, it is momentum because that losing that match is so demoralizing if you're Afterthought because you worked so hard to get into the overtime. You were this close, 1 goal away, and now you're actually trailing in the series.
Afterthought, a tough loss for them, but for Charlotte, that easily would have been an even bigger blow because of all the chances that they had. If they would have lost that game, they would have really looked back at the film thinking that they should have taken it, but still they muscle through. Shadow, challenged by Shock. Shadow now off the ceiling over to Karma. Karma turned to the side. That one was going to be high, but Sathu still hits it out. Shot towards the net, and somehow he beats Sathu. We'll take another look at this one.
Shadow, how did you find this angle? This is crazy. Beating out Dapper there, finding the shot on target. I mean, his team would have been happy with just beating Dapper there, but he found the shot on the small opening for the net.
It looked like Sathu was out of boost. Just had to watch that ball go in. Shadow, the perfect shot. Shock up the sideline. Now another pass. Well defended, but it kicks up. Now to Shadow. Shadow going for a double tap. No, he didn't get the first touch that he wanted. Gives up possession. Sathu flicks it up. Karma with the stop. Charlotte keeping this ball in the Afterthought half. Ooh. Another close call. Shock defending that pocket. Bump on Dapper will give space to Karma. Karma.
Oh, what a pass.
Center ball. It kicks straight up off the ceiling. Shock. Now challenged by Shadow. Charlotte Phoenix. They are refusing Afterthought any access into their half.
I mean, look at Karma. She's alone right now in the corner, and look at how much time she stalls out for her team. She has been the aggressor so far, and she's done a great job of taking her time, being patient, and letting her teammates get boost to keep the onslaught.
And that's a great point. The more time that you spend in that corner, keep those players locked in. Like you said, you're getting your team that boost advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, Shock. That touch does send it wide, but it was scary. Dapper finally getting this ball over to Sathu. And an immediate clear, deep. Shock, can he keep an attack going for Afterthought? Ball pinching out. Sathu aiming for the backboard. Karma gets the read, sends it back. Shadow off the ceiling, and then blocks Shock. Dapper shot also turned aside. Sathu finally breaking through the Charlotte defense. Afterthought getting their turn on offense.
And it all came down to just keeping up the shots. They were just too fast for the defense of Charlotte, and they just outpaced them completely, shot after shot. The defense is going to crumble down, and we just saw exactly that happen.
Dapper will leave this ball in the corner. Going for the long clear, but Karma stops it at half. Shadow, the bounce shot. Sathu getting a stop. Back on net. Dapper with the save. Karma's going to turn, going for a shot of her own. No, she goes for the backward pass. And Shock able to cut that play up. Karma, hard pass off the side, but Sathu first to it. Popping it up for Shock, and now Shock slowed down by Shadow. Shadow gets the ball to Karma.
Oh, what a bump.
You called it, Turtle.
the mid-air. Like you said, James, he had him in his sights. You say it all the time. That's all it comes down to. I mean, just locating him in the air, following up with a flick, and that's what it is. You just have to deny any pressure in the air, and it's so hard to read where a player's car is going to go. Being able to get a bump like that mid-air, so difficult.
Shadow putting his skills on display, as he is a huge reason why Charlotte are where they are today.
And I mean, last game we saw Afterthought have some pressure, some form of aggression, but right now it really is just all quiet.
They did have that moment where they did get the only goal.
And it was only for like 15 seconds.
They've only had 2 registered shots, shooting 1 for 2 to the 7 of Charlotte Phoenix. And Charlotte, aside from that one series, that one moment on defense, they have held the possession. Shadow did get his flip reset and gets the boost steal. Dapper attempting to kickstart this Afterthought offense.
Oh, this could be it.
Backboard. Shadow with the stop. Dapper, center ball. Sathu taking an angle.
Oh.
His shot will be wide. Dapper again going for the pass. Shock. Can't connect. Sathu wasn't able to get there either. So good passes,
yeah,
but not shots.
I mean, Dapper, he's the guy who's setting up his teammates right now, but there is no final shot finding the back of the net. The passes are there, but Dapper, he can't do it all himself right now, and that's a good setup again. Shock can't find a slot.
That shot pushed high. As the shooting woes for Afterthought in game 2 continue. Shock taking his time, gets demoed for it. Sathu pinch this ball down. Shadow with plenty of time and space. Pops it by one, dunks it by another. Shock dodges the demo, does keep the play alive. Karma, last back, long clear. No one's anywhere close, and the Charlotte Phoenix get the win in game 2.
And right now, Afterthought, I mean, they got swept earlier in the season, still unable to even take a game away from Charlotte Phoenix right now. And if you want to compare the players' mentalities, I mean, every single player right now, you've got a new player like Shadow and Shock, but then Sathu Dapper versus Karma and Jay Wismont, they are trying to fight back for their spot in the RLCS. They all have experience, and right now it just comes down to who's confident, and that's Charlotte Phoenix.
And this play was such a critical play. Shadow gets credit with the assist and gets this bump. You see him there just hovering over and immediately jumping.
What
he had
recovery.
He had 0 time to really gather himself. He immediately knew as soon as he was missing that ball.
Yeah.
As soon as he was not getting 2, he wanted to go for the bump. And he situated his car using air roll perfectly to where he lands perfect and immediately can jump and get the bump.
It's that factor of wanting to do more. You know, he could have, like we've always seen it, have the player just rotate out, but he stayed there, went for the aggressive play, and that I think that is probably one of the best indicators of emotions on the field. When you see players go for that, that is a sure indicator that they are confident on the field, that they can go for that. They know their teammate's going to hit that shot.
And not only that, you know, actually getting the bump. You don't even have to get the bump in every situation. Just going for it a lot of times,
making somebody jump
space. But he hit that. So Shadow gonna get that confidence moving forward to where we might see him go for even more of these types of plays. But that isn't even the first time we saw him do it, where he immediately lands and then is off the ground in an instant, getting either a good touch on the ball or now in this situation, a good bump on a player.
Yeah.
So Shadow making an impact as he is trying to get into the RLCS for the first time. Jay Wismont and Karma, they've already been there. And right now they're on a hike to get back, just 2 games away.
But I love to see that. I love seeing the new player, the new pickup, be one of the star MVPs for the roster, because it proves that, you know, Charlotte Phoenix, they don't really care, Jay Wismont and Karma, about being the MVP, the highlight player. They just want to make it back. If they're going to rely on Shadow, that's all it takes. That player, he is stepping up so much. He's been doing it this entire season, and now he continues to do it under the most amount of pressure.
Yeah, Shadow, he might be the ticket to get the Phoenix back, or the Charlotte Phoenix back into the RLCS. And we have a player connection issue we're sorting out. We'll get them into the lobby right away as soon as we can and get this series going. We'll be starting off with game 3. Charlotte Phoenix up by 2. and we saw Shadow, such a key figure in that last play. But even Karma in Game 1, that Game 1, that is such a momentum builder. If you missed Game 1, it was...
And how long the overtime was as well.
Almost 7 minutes of overtime.
Crazy.
As we take a look at the goal highlights from the previous, or from Game 1.
And Dapper, he's the guy who has been making moves for this Afterthought roster. I think he just needs to be followed up by his teammates and backed up by them a little bit more, because it's really just been a 1v3 so far of Dapper trying to make opportunities happen.
And Afterthought, they had a strong start in Game 1. They had a strong start. It seemed like their offense was going to get going. And even that read from Dapper was so tough. But after this point, it was all Charlotte Phoenix. Even in overtime, Afterthought was just barely staying alive. And this 1-2 play from Karma and Shadow was something else. And then the overtime winner by Karma, the double tap at almost 7 minutes of overtime. That was what won it for him. And now in Game 2, just a 1-0 victory. It seems like Charlotte knows how to prevent any Afterthought defense or any Afterthought offense from generating really opportunities.
Yeah.
We did see some chances, but the shooting right now for Afterthought is just it's not
on point
expect.
at all. And we've seen it so far throughout the entire season. Whenever Dapper gets that pass in, there's always a great finish. But right now, it's nowhere to be found. And I think that if the shooting accuracy begins or continues to be as horrible as it is right now, they're not going to walk away with their win, because Charlotte Phoenix, they're not letting any openings at all whatsoever on defense. They're not breaking down whatsoever.
So we'll see if the Charlotte Phoenix can keep this streak going. They're off to a 2-0 lead, looking to make it 3. Shock. Upfield, J-Wiz. Shadow getting the boost steal. Sathu trying to bump J-Wiz. Boost problems for Afterthought. Dapper
good demo.
Goes all the way to the enemy corner. And now the shot just missing. Breakaway chance, but this is going to roll up.
Afterthought, again, they get so close to finding an opening. The demo's from Dapper, and there's nobody there to finish.
The net was open, and the shot was just wide. Shadow going for the dunk. At 50-50, almost resulting in a goal. Narrow miss. Now sealing pass down. Demo on Shock. As Shock respawns, he'll send it.
Oh,
Dapper!
what?
Oh, my.
That touch was incredible.
And Dapper, he was the one who scored the goals for Afterthought in Game 1. They need to find ways to get him the ball with shooting opportunities, because right now, he hasn't really had that many.
But that's the frustrating part, because he's the playmaker right now of Afterthought. He has the most assists in the league. If it comes down to him having to finish the shots, Afterthought could be in trouble.
We'll see if the shooting improves for Afterthought here in Game 3. And again, this is for an automatic bid into the RLCS. If you win this series, you are in. Dapper. Center ball. Shadow cuts the play out. Shock will take his time, get corner boost, and now challenge. Karma attacking backward. Shock upfield, right to J-Wiz. J-Wiz attacking backward, and Sathu does get the read. Follow-up shot, and Shock gets bumped into that touch.
And Afterthought, I mean, everybody getting a little bit bunched up right now. Not too much of Panic's play. Thankfully, they keep it under control. But look at how aggressive Charlotte's being. That's a great opening. But still, the goal line saves. They're there. They're finding connections with the ball, but how long will it last for Afterthought?
Multiple quality stops by Sathu in this game. I was questioning his defense earlier, but so far in Game 3, he's had a couple key stops.
Yeah.
Now on the attack, Sathu popping it by. Shadow has to make the save. Dapper sees Shock. Shock with the finish, and Afterthought take the lead.
Dapper again being the playmaker. He gets a great dunk and then sets up Shock for the opening. He's not going to miss that because it is just set up too beautifully from Dapper. They finally find some kind of connection for Afterthought, and they go up 1-0.
Now off kickoff. Dangerous ball. That one's off the crossbar. Still not out yet. Dapper, a lob over. And Shadow trying to stabilize. Gets the boost stolen. Karma on low boost. Gets it out to Jaywiz. Shock with the block. And now Shadow at 0. Gets the boost at half. And now we'll push it up. Last game was just 1-0 in favor of the Charlotte Phoenix. Right now, that same scoreline holding in favor of Afterthought.
It's almost a must-win for Afterthought. Might not be match point, but if you lose this to Phoenix, they're gonna have to complete a reverse sweep in a best of 7. That task alone is so difficult.
And it's something that we saw in the RLCS in Europe. Dignitas doing that over Barcelona in the first round of the Page playoff. So it's possible, but it is a rarity. Shadow bounces into the middle where Sathu can get a booming clear. And Dapper forcing the pressure. Sathu blocked out. Shadow dunked on by Shock. It's bouncing back towards net.
Oh.
Jaywiz saves it. Now Dapper, his shot blocked. Sathu low boost. Gets another key challenge and gets the bump.
I love that play from Sathu. Even without boost, he's still in position and ready to go forward instead of falling back and being a little bit passive. Exactly what you want to see from him as that third man.
0 boost contributions, but now a 50-50 will send it back. Shadow wanted to go for the demo, and now a demo on the other end. Sathu with that, he's going to secure it for Afterthought. They hold on the counterattack.
He has been popping off game 3 as well, like you talked about earlier, the defensive stops, and then we just saw him have the smart play to be in position without boost, and now he goes in after the demo play, gets the shot on. Sathu stepping it up.
Sathu, a step-up performance in game 3 on both the defensive and offensive end. Time ticks away, and Afterthought, they don't have to reverse sweep. They get one game in this series, an important one in game 3.
And they're so thankful for that as well, because like you said, it's a rarity to complete a reverse sweep in a best of 7. They stay alive here. And now they're starting to catch a little bit of momentum. We don't see Dapper doing all the work right now for Afterthought, at least on the offensive side.
He did get the pass over to Shock.
Yeah.
He did get the pass over to Shock that Shock managed to score, but Sathu had a great game all around.
Definitely. And look at this play again. The corner boost from Dapper, going and being aggressive, wins that challenge and sets up Shock. That is so fundamental from Dapper. We've seen it all league.
We really have seen it all league play along. Jaywiz just a step too slow, and then Shock brute forcing that ball in on the goal line. And that is, it's in your advantage as an attacker. When you're coming in on the ball like that, you have the speed, you have the momentum. The defenders are oftentimes going to be a little going slower. A lot of times you win that ball forward, and if you win that ball forward, it's a guaranteed goal.
Yeah.
And Shock did just that. But Sathu, you have to give him credit. We called him out earlier on defensive mistouches. This game had some great defensive touches.
Around.
Even on that 0 boost play, staying in the play, making value out of his situation, which is so difficult to do on 0 boost. When you have no boost, it's almost like you're useless a lot of the time.
It's so easy to panic and just go back on defense, but then you give up complete midfield possession. As long as you just force yourself in on midfield with 0 boost and you can just make a challenge, that is everything right now for Afterthought, because you don't have to rely on a third man who's back, you know, without any space. He has to make a crazy 1v1 save.
And this is the moment where you leave it all on the field. The best opportunity that these teams will get to make it to the RLCS. Afterthought, they answered the call there.
And I've just been curious the whole season, you know, which veterans are we going to see make that crazy play, make the crazy climb back to the RLCS? Is it going to be Karma and Jaywiz from Charlotte Phoenix? You know, we had Corrupted G, now Dapper and Sathu, so hungry to get back into RLCS.
And for one team, it's going to happen. Pass over to Dapper. Dapper, the shot blocked by Shadow. The precision not there. We see Sathu even shaking off a bump attempt. Now a strong shot towards net. Dapper with the save this time. But Dapper, that was a great pass, a scoring chance. And he just shot it too close to the defender, but Sathu cleans this up. His performance continues to be on display.
But you know that communication is here as well. Shock. He probably could have gotten the double touch had he had boost. He communicated well for Sathu to come in instead and crash the net. It kind of faked out the defense. And now we see them go up 1 goal. What a play and what a communicational display from Afterthought.
Shadow with time, lobs it high. Shadow is going to stop this ball at the midfield. Lobbed up. Sathu will turn around, gets blocked by Jaywiz. Shot opportunity for Dapper, and he hits it right at Shadow. Karma clears it across net. Jaywiz goes for it. Now Karma on the back wall will help. Sathu with a challenge. Shadow slowed down. Jaywizmont. Shock trying to get this ball out of their half.
Got space, Sathu. Oh, what a dribble as well. And the bump, I mean, you can see the multiple step plays coming out from Afterthought now. They've kind of woken up here in game 4.
We've seen Charlotte keep Afterthought down on the defensive end and be forced to play defense all game long, but this has not been the case. Right now, Afterthought holding all the cards. Karma behind the ball, 0 boost. We'll have to retreat. Shock going for the play. Karma finally getting the corner boost in her own corner. Ball out in front of net. Shadow over Dapper. But Sathu is able to get a big clear. Jaywiz over to Shadow. Shadow, double tap pass into the middle, and Dapper breaks it up.
Good defense from Afterthought. So far, every single attempt from Charlotte really been denied. And this is a whole new roster we're seeing from Afterthought. Everybody is having a real equal contribution right now to the defensive and offensive side. It's not one-sided like we saw earlier.
Team effort is what you want to see on the final, or what could be your final series in the rival series. Yeah. If you win, you are in. Karma, shot, saved by Dapper. Sathu is going to have to chase it down and gets another clear. Now Shock versus Shadow. It's down to Dapper. Dapper hits it wide, and Jaywiz upfield to Shadow. Shadow the shot. Oh. Handled by Sathu. Off the backboard, Shock with the miss. The demo leaves it open. And with that miss from Shock, it leaves the chance for Charlotte Phoenix, and they don't mess up.
And you're right, Shock needed to get a hit there. Even with the demo coming through, I mean, Shock, you have to find some kind of contact on that ball.
Shock is gonna want that one back. Jaywiz to the corner. Double commit. Shadow a hard hit off the sidewall. Ball out to Karma. Karma backward pass. Shock does get a piece of it, but it's out to Shadow. Shadow straight up off the ceiling. And now pass out. Aggression from Shadow, but patience from Afterthought. And now the shot towards net off the crossbar. It's down and out. It is down and out. Now on the other end, Charlotte Phoenix.
Oh, they're still aggressive though. Afterthought, they were so close to putting this in their favor now. And they might even force an overtime with a miss like that.
And we've seen overtime before in this series, almost 7 minutes of it in game 1.
I mean, if you're Afterthought, you're traumatized of overtimes. 7 minutes and you lose. I do not want to go back into another overtime at all.
Dapper keeps the play alive, bouncing out to the middle. And couldn't get there for the shot. We've got overtime in game 4. And right off kickoff, Jaywiz had a shot opportunity, but it was weak.
Just one win here in this overtime. And Charlotte Phoenix are on match point for the series to make it into RLCS. A good touch there for Afterthought. Sathiu's got a great follow-up shot now. Needs to get the aerial. A good block from Karma. And the defense is on point right now from Charlotte.
Oh, Karma going for the control. Karma won it in overtime for the Charlotte Phoenix in game 1. And that shot almost making it in. The defense holding strong. Shock off the ceiling, center ball. Karma clears it off to the side. Dapper's struggling. He's flipping all around right now. We'll have to leave it for Sathiu. Shadow across the field to Karma. Karma's up. Karma blocked by Shock. Shooting chance for Jaywiz, and Jaywiz forces that wide. Shock has Sathiu far left. Dapper's also behind him.
What? Oh my goodness, Shock, the patience. Forcing a 50. I love the idea of that. Almost got the pinch goal as well. I think Afterthought. I mean, look at the dribbles from Sathiu. He's going to put it on display. What? All the way from his own end. Sathiu dribbles the entire team.
Jaywiz was not expecting it. Karma wasn't expecting that little touch.
Landed on the ball.
Sathiu, the hero for Afterthought in game 4.
And this time, the overtime goes towards Afterthought. That is redemption for them. And redemption for Sathiu. The highlight player getting both goals this game. 5 shots from him. But again, that dribble. He landed on the ball, got it around the defenders, and just managed to slot it. That is crucial for Afterthought, negating a match point for Phoenix.
That was a bit, it was a bit of a tough start for Sathiu in this series, but he has really turned it around and beyond made amends. He has gotten them the win here. That last play on his shoulders, completely handling it all by himself.
But now Phoenix, I mean, are we starting to see a momentum shift? 2 games going to Afterthought. How are they going to respond? I mean, Shadow, he's been a little bit more quiet now, hasn't had those outstanding plays. Karma, again, ever since game 1, I feel like she's been a little bit quiet as well. They really need to spice something up, go for more pass plays, because right now I feel like they're just throwing it at the backboard, hoping for a mistake. And
we saw mistakes come out earlier from Afterthought. We did see that. We saw Sathiu misread a few. We saw Shock also misread one that there was a demo that opened up the chance. So it has been working relatively well, but in this game it wasn't enough, and so maybe they do need to go back to more of that passing. We saw Karma and Shadow doing that early on with their give and goes.
Exactly.
They need more of that.
They need way more of it. It's all about having that first hit and then making the communication play to go into the corner. I don't think we're seeing the aggressive positioning as much from Phoenix. Maybe they're focusing more on defense and saying let's play passive against Afterthought.
So we are tied at 2 apiece. The top 2 teams from North American League play for the Rival Series are going head-to-head, and it is a slugfest as we're tied up. Jaywiz, weak shot towards net. Shock will hit it downfield. Karma have to take possession. Shock just a split second too slow to get the boost steal, but a big dunk from Sathiu will slow down the counterattack. And a pinch now off the ceiling. Send it back.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again, though. I think Sathiu really is one of the best players at keeping the ball close to him and forcing a solid 50 or even going for a dunk. He always dribbles whenever he knows he needs to.
And that got him the win.
Yeah.
That got him the win in the last game.
That is the difference that Sathiu can add to a team. He's been like that since the beginning of his career. A slow, patient player who can find 50s and benefit his team.
Shock. Have to leave it for Karma. Karma off the backboard. Sathiu. First touch, goes for a second, but gets demoed by Jaywiz. Dapper takes over. Karma skipping it off the hood of a teammate's car, now attempting downfield. J-Wiz out of boost. We see the boost steal come in from the corner. Karma will turn, keep the pressure going. Looking for that demo, looking for that bump.
But now more aggression from Charlotte Phoenix.
And that was the infield pass that you were talking about, but Shadow didn't want to commit.
And that's surprising because the first 2 games for them, you would 100% guaranteed to have a player there. But now it seems like they're being a little bit more passive, kind of waiting it out and letting Afterthought have more space. Where has the confidence gone?
We'll have to see. Shadow was playing with so much confidence, but he's been hanging back.
Yeah.
Now shot for Dapper, blocked by Shadow. Sathu will retreat all the way back, trying to dodge Karma's bump. Sathu with a huge save off the backboard. We saw him playing that game of cat and mouse and still got the save. Sathu couldn't make that hit. Now a scary moment. Afterthought get away.
And you can see how much lies on Sathu and his shoulders. If he makes one miss like we just saw, that is the opening. That's the difference right now.
But he's made some big stops in so many situations where he's got to get the touch.
Oh, and even more dribblers. Look at the way he's creating space, stalling out for his teammates to get mid boost, and now they can keep going with pressure and have a challenge like that from Dapper.
Low scoring game, low scoring series. Dapper gets it by J-Wiz. Sathu driving around it, center ball to Dapper. Shadow cuts off the play. Now off the wall to Karma. Karma up to Shadow. She'll stay with it, but Shock interrupts the play with another touch. Dapper with a quality clear downfield. Shock shooting towards net. Karma!
Oh my goodness.
Karma couldn't get the clear and hits it off her own post, leaving that door open for Dapper.
And Karma, she could have gotten that save. I thought Shock was a little bit too eager to get the shot on. Karma panicked a bit, and unfortunately for her, it bounced off the post and sets up Afterthought.
And she might have been out of boost and felt like she had to flip right then at that moment. A close call. You know, Rocket League could be a game of inches.
Yeah.
And J-Wiz immediately after kickoff gets the equalizer for Charlotte.
And he does it in similar fashion to the way that Sathu got that overtime goal last game. All the way from his defensive end, he catches it on his hood, gets a solid flick out, and then he's there for the finishing shot.
So we go almost 4 minutes of scoreless play, and then immediately both teams getting on the board. And we're back to where we started.
Yeah, we haven't made any progression. Oh,
Sathu the dunk. A lot riding on J-Wiz's shoulders right there. He was able to get the clear that was needed. Shadow up. He'll beat Shock by a country mile. Now over to Karma. Dapper booms it down to Shock. Shock will hit it and forget it. Demo on J-Wiz. Shadow dodges the demo as well. Attempting the clear downfield. That'll buy some time. Where is that last player? Finally, Shock comes in. Sathu
big dunk.
helping out. Is there anyone back for Charlotte? Yes, it's J-Wiz. And he streaks across to get the save.
The big dunk earlier from Sathu, and now a huge clear that's on net. J-Wizmon has to barely get the save. And now Shock's got a great turn here, but J-Wizmon a big dunk again. He's been solid on defense so far towards the end of this game.
That was a low boost save, just enough to get to it.
Flick.
Karma keeping the ball alive. What will Shock do? Pop it up. J-Wiz hard across the field.
Are they going to keep it up? Oh, they do.
It's going to go wide, and they let it touch, and we have overtime in Game 5.
And if we get a win here from Afterthought, that is going to be 3 consecutive games in a row for them.
And the momentum will heavily be in their favor.
Yeah.
Backboard bounce to Sathu. Sathu, Shock got a bump on Shadow and gets the boost steal. We'll try to dribble it. Going for it. Leaves it now for Dapper. And J-Wiz gets the save. Shock Getting a boost steal as well. Low boost for Charlotte. Gets the demo. It's trouble.
Wow.
And trouble indeed.
What?
Dapper spells it out. Afterthought get the win in overtime.
Look at Sathu again being so patient. Gets around one, maneuvers around the second goalie off the backboard. Sathu, you have been an MVP this entire series. He's the player right now, making a difference and setting up his teammates. Crazy.
Dapper with 2 goals. And this one, Shock, you have to give him credit. He was in the corner so much, Turtle.
Yeah.
He was getting the boost over and over. He got that boost. He stole it twice. So he was in that corner for at least 20 seconds, just harassing. And then after he gets the boost, he demos the player in net, and that was the last straw.
Yeah.
There was the Charlotte Phoenix, they were just reeling after that play, and then the ball leaks out into the middle. Dapper finishes it off, and Afterthought, like you said, 3 consecutive wins now.
Huge.
When it seemed like Charlotte was going to run away with the series.
I thought it was going to be a sweep for them potentially, because it seems like Afterthought, I mean, not even seems, they literally got swept earlier in the season, and then the 2 games down, they hadn't won yet, and now all it took was just finding that one key difference and that 1 point to just start getting wins against Charlotte Phoenix, and now it's all Afterthought.
It is all Afterthought. Can Charlotte stop the bleeding? This isn't their last chance. The loser of this series will go down to play RBG for the last spot of auto qualification in the RLCS. So it won't be over yet, but they can end their rival series journey here and begin their rival series journey, or their RLCS journey, with a win for Afterthought now. But now Charlotte is going to have to answer.
And they're going to have to do it right here, right now with Shadow. He needs to be the guy who's going to step up, hit those shots. You got somebody like Sathu being patient, getting around people with the dribbles. You have somebody like Dapper setting up their teammates, and now Shock being aggressive, taking the boost. How do you counter this momentum-driven offense?
Critical game. J-Wiz and Karma both going for it. Karma, strong clear. Sathu well controlled in this corner. Dapper racing to it. Shadow still getting a piece. Shock going for the double tap. Just missing out on that second hit. Karma will take over and get boost. J-Wiz, a flick. Will go wide. Dapper trying to get the corner boost. He does get it. Oh, the bump out of net. Shock with some time. Slowed down by Karma. Now flick from Sathu. Dapper and Sathu eager to get back to the RLCS. Dapper spent 3 seasons there, even made it to the World Championship back in Season 3. Can he make it back with Sathu? And now Shock, who had to watch his teammates make it to the RLCS and now the World Championship.
Every single player right now on this pitch has come such a long way towards getting to the spot they're at right now. An opportunity of a lifetime.
Months, years of preparation, years of practice, and grinding, all leading to just one Rocket League game separating you from the RLCS. Can Afterthought do it? Sathu in the corner, he'll have to leave it for Dapper. We're just approaching 2 minutes off of the clock now, and it's been scoreless. Last game, scoreless for quite some time.
Good pass.
Shadow off the backboard. Now Karma centers it. J-Wiz and Shadow both had to retreat. Shadow in the sideline. No boost. Dapper takes over. Misses his hit, and Karma will plop that back into the corner. Challenge from Sathu. Shock in the corner. Karma pops it up. Sathu up to Shock in the midfield. Shock off the ceiling, bouncing down. Shadow getting his bearings. Trying to dribble that out.
Right now, it's really which defense is going to have the slower rotation and open up an opportunity.
Backboard. Miss from J-Wiz.
All the
Dapper
way.
His shot blocked from Shadow. Afterthought with the first quality chance that we've seen. Karma trying to bump Dapper out of the play. Sathu, that pinch, sends it all the way back towards net. Shock. Scrambling, Jaywiz off the backboard. Karma's up.
Dapper.
Double commit. Dapper attempting to hit it down. Shadow pops it up to himself, going for the shot. Bounce shot towards net. And Shock gets the save.
Charlotte Phoenix, you can see they're trying to starve out Afterthought, going in for the aggressive demos. We saw Karma get one there, taking the boost. Afterthought, they're not letting up. Will they get a counterattack, or will Charlotte Phoenix finally capitalize on this pressure?
Sathu can't get to the ball. Shadow using up every ounce of boost to get that ball mid. Now it's cleared down to Sathu. Sathu dribble. Almost hits it off Jaywiz. Shock with the follow-up save by Jaywiz. The Sathu dribbling almost paying off yet again for Afterthought. As a tussle in the corner, the ball kicks out. Now Shadow, 0 boost. Sathu with plenty. Down to Dapper. Karma's upfield,
there.
But Shock
touch.
will skip that off his hood to safety.
We're just getting a match of tug-of-war right now between both teams. Fighting it out. 30 seconds left. It's gonna come down to one final shot to send them either into the RLCS or Charlotte Phoenix into Game 7.
Ball out to Karma. Karma first touch control to the corner. A pinch from Dapper. That was hot. Now Shock with space. Going for the 50, and Shock forces the ball through. Afterthought take the lead with 11 seconds left on the clock.
Shock with the patient play. He just takes it to the goal line and forces it in.
The perfect challenge.
That is all he needed.
He was right behind the ball and side flips right into it. That car was not moving. Shock
stuffed him.
Last chance for the Charlotte Phoenix to get in.
They can do it. They've got it.
And that will do it. Afterthought, after losing the first 2 games, roar back with 4 straight wins.